Welcome to Educational Principles and Policies. I am Yasmin Serafin, and we'll have an insightful discussion lined up on the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive Schools National Code of Discipline and Dress Policy. This policy was implemented by the Ministry of Education in Anguilla, and it provides guidelines on discipline, attendance, transportation, and most importantly, the code of dress and grooming, which will be our prime focus. Joining me are our reporters, Jemima Mills, who will break down the details of the policy. Shelley and Griggs will provide the historical and current perspectives. Lanning Connor will analyze the strengths, weaknesses, and overall impact on schools, teaching, and learning. And finally, I will be discussing the mitigation strategies to address common concerns surrounding the policy. Stay with us as we explore how this policy shapes the lives of students and school culture.
Locks, braids, afros, wave cuts, bantu knots. Here is a frequently discussed, hotly debated, and deeply personal issue for men and women of all ages. That is why in 2020, the Ministry of Education encouraged students to celebrate their natural hair with World Afro Day. As a predominantly Black country, the Ministry of Education understands that the acceptance of our racial and cultural uniqueness means stepping away from ingrained colonial perspectives about the appropriateness of Black hair in schools and professional settings. We want our students to express themselves with respect and to treat others with respect. So the Ministry of Education has undergone an evaluative process to look at the hair policy in the school system. This change in policy will allow students to wear their afros, locks, braids, and other protective hairstyles associated with their racial and cultural identity. One of the most important changes to note is that locks will be generally accepted for both boys and girls. There will no longer be a process of applying to the Department of Education to state that they are being worn for religious reasons. This policy in its entirety will be made available on the Ministry of Social Development and Education Facebook page and the Government of Anguilla Facebook page.
The Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School National Dress Code sets standard for student attire and grooming. These standards aren't just rules for the sake of having rules. They serve a greater purpose. The aim is to promote discipline, school pride, and uniformity among students. When students are dressed appropriately, they are more likely to develop a sense of responsibility and professionalism, preparing them for future workplaces where dress codes might be the norm. The policy also addresses appropriate clothing, hairstyles, accessories, and overall grooming. This is crucial in ensuring that students present themselves in a manner that reflects respect for themselves, their peers, and their institution. However, the policy is not rigid. Exceptions are made for religious and health reasons, provided there is proper documentation. This balance between structure and flexibility ensures that all students are treated fairly while maintaining the decorum necessary for a conducive learning environment. Now, let's look at some of the specific expectations for the students. Firstly, students must wear the prescribed uniform on school premises and while traveling. This ensures consistency and helps maintain the school's image both inside and outside of the classroom. Uniforms must be neat, clean, and worn with pride. A sloppy uniform often reflects a careless attitude, while a well-maintained one fosters discipline and self-respect. Specific guidelines exist on skirt length, hair grooming, and acceptable footwear. These guidelines prevent distractions and help maintain a professional environment. To reiterate the aforementioned point, and to also point out the fairness yet firmness of this policy, exceptions are allowed for religious and health reasons provided that proper documentation is given. This ensures that no student is unfairly penalized due to personal or medical circumstances. Jewelry, makeup, and unconventional hairstyles are restricted. This is because excessive accessorizing or dramatic hairstyles can shift focus away from academics and toward personal appearance. In the end, this dress code is not about taking away individuality. It's about instilling values that will benefit students beyond the classroom. It teaches self-discipline, helps students develop a sense of belonging, and ensures that their focus remains where it should be, on their education.
Hi, I'm Shalian Grace from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I will speak to you on the historical perspectives and the current perspectives. School dress codes have been in place for decades, originally implemented to create uniformity, discipline, and equality among students. Historically, school uniforms were meant to reduce socio-economic disparities and prevent competition over clothing choices. Many schools have held strict dress codes to maintain a professional academic atmosphere. Grooming standards, including restrictions on hairstyles, originated from colonial era and military-style discipline models. In the past, grooming policies often reflected societal norms rather than student diversity, leading to debates of fairness and cultural expression. Now I'll share some points on the current perspectives. The Ministry of Education has revised the ALHCS National Code of Discipline and Dress, allowing Afro-Angloan students to wear natural protective hairstyles such as dreadlocks, braids, and cornrows without penalty. This change reflects evolving attitudes towards hair both globally and within the community. While the ALHCS dress code maintains some traditional values, there is a growing need to balance discipline with modern perspectives on self-expression. Discussions about inclusivity, gender neutrality, and cultural hairstyles have influenced how schools enforce dress codes today. Some argue that strict dress codes can reinforce social inequalities, particularly regarding hair and grooming policies that disproportionately affect students of African descent. Many students across the region have been discriminated against. For example, according to an article published by Eyewitness News, in 2019, a student at St. Mary's Roman Catholic Primary School in St. Vincent and the Grenadines could not attend school for 3 weeks because of issues relating to her hair. The policy of the St. Mary's Roman Catholic Primary School required students with dreadlocks to cover them is discriminatory and should be abolished, stated the Attorney General, as it is not part of the Education Act of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Example 2. Another article from The Guardian stated that in June 2023, students in Trinidad spoke out after being barred from a graduation ceremony because they did not meet the school's definition of neat and tidy. The 17-year-old, who had a low afro, was one of more than 20 boys who were not allowed to collect their certificates on stage at Trinity's College in Maravel. One student reported that he was placed on a bench far in a corner where his parents could not see him, and that it was really a bad experience for a very special day. There is increasing advocacy for allowing natural hairstyles, neutral dress options, and adjustments based on financial accessibility. Some institutions have modernized their policies by allowing cultural adaptations, provided they align with overall school discipline standards. Other countries like Trinidad and St. Lucia have also amended their respective policies to reflect those of the Crown Act, or creating a respectful and open world for natural hair act, a bill that aims to prohibit discrimination based on hair texture or style. The Crown Act was introduced in the U.S. Congress in 2022. ALHCS continues to evaluate and adapt its dress code to remain relevant in a changing social landscape while maintaining its core values.
Hi everyone, my name is Lani Kana and I hail from a beautiful island of Anguilla. Today I will be speaking on the strengths of the policy as well as its weaknesses and the impacts on schools, teaching, and learning. The strengths. Promotes school identity and a sense of unity among students. Reduces peer pressure by minimizing competition over fashion trends. Enhances security by making students easily identifiable on campus. Encourages discipline and professional grooming standards, preparing students for future work environments. Helps maintain order and prevent distractions in the classroom. The weaknesses. Can limit self-expression and cultural identity, particularly regarding hairstyles and accessories. Financial burden on families who struggle to afford proper uniforms. Strict enforcement can create conflicts between students and school authorities. Grooming standards, particularly regarding natural hairstyles, can disproportionately impact students from diverse backgrounds. Students may feel that some rules are outdated or unfair, leading to issues with compliance. It helps maintain a structured, respectful, and focused learning environment. It reduces classroom distractions to fashion and excessive self-expression. Prevents bullying or social exclusion based on clothing choices. However, conflicts over reinforcement can cause unnecessary disruptions to student learning. Teachers may be forced to spend instructional time addressing dress code violations instead of actually teaching. Potential negative impact on student morale if they feel dress codes are unfairly enforced. Thank you.
Now I'll be speaking on the mitigation strategies. Schools should actively involve students, parents, and staff in discussions to refine dress code policies, ensuring that they are fair, inclusive, and reflective to the diverse school community. Regular reviews should be conducted to address emerging concerns, adapt to changing social norms, and maintaining the effectiveness of the policies. To support families facing financial difficulties, schools or the Ministry of Education can provide assistance for purchasing school uniforms, ensuring that all students have access to appropriate attire. Additionally, incorporating cultural inclusive elements to the dress code can foster a greater sense of belonging and respect for diversity among students. Clear, consistent, and unbiased enforcement of policies should be implemented to prevent discrimination and ensure fairness. Offering alternative uniform options that allow for some degree of self-expression can also help students feel more comfortable and confident. Furthermore, educating students on the purpose and benefits of dress code can encourage voluntary compliance, fostering a positive school environment while reducing the need for strict enforcement. In closing, the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive Schools National Code of Discipline and Dress Policy plays a crucial role in maintaining order, discipline, and a sense of unity among students. While it helps create a structured learning environment, the policy has also sparked discussions on cultural inclusivity, self-expression, and fairness in enforcement. The evolving approach to dress codes, including ALHCS's recent revisions, reflect a broader shift towards embracing diversity while upholding school standards. As seen in other countries, policies that acknowledge cultural identity, such as the Crown Act, demonstrate the importance of balancing tradition with modern perspectives. Moving forward, ongoing dialogue among students, parents, and educators will be essential in ensuring that a dress code remains relevant, fair, and inclusive. By fostering understanding and flexibility, schools can create an environment where students not only look the parts, but also feel valued and respected in their pursuit of education. Thank you for tuning in.